But we'll let you start us off.
All right. Good afternoon. It's great seeing everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces on here. What's up, Herbie, Nate, Sam? You know, I'm not uh ignoring anybody else, but those are some familiar faces that I've seen. But first and foremost, I just want to thank the Chicago Bears organization. It was a great run, a great season. Uh, Thanking George McCaskey, the president, obviously the whole entire McCaskey family, the team president, Kevin Warren. I think a lot of people are familiar with the name Kevin Warren because he was once here, once upon a time. Uh, Ted Cruz also. Like to send a special shout out to Ryan Poles and the head coach Ben Johnson. You talking about great people, uh, a great organization, and it felt like home. And that was the beauty of it. It was real, real tough making this decision, but it was an opportunity to come home, and it was like leaving home. But now, if Big Red ever picks up the phone, that's the only person that you'll say, "Hey, you know what? It may be time to return home because he's given me this opportunity." But more than anything, it was very, very tough after exactly what we just went through. But more than anything, I'm fired up about this opportunity. I'm looking forward to it, and it's time to get back in the saddle. With that said, I'm all ears. Let's hit it.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start first with Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey Eric, how's it going?
What's going on, Sam? How you doing?
Good to see you.
It's good seeing you as well.
I'm just wondering, I got a couple things for you. I wonder, first of all, how much have you had a chance to maybe dig into what the Chiefs offense was last year? And if so, what were your impressions?
You know what? I really haven't had an opportunity to dig in and really study it like I want to. Every now and then I would pick up, a few ideas or a few plays here and there, but I really haven't had a chance to dig in like I want to. I'm going to spend this time doing that during this period just to figure out the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the indifferent. But I'm excited about the opportunity. Obviously, looking forward to getting back to work with some of these guys, and ideally just getting reacclimated with the staff.
I don't want to just focus on the bad and the ugly on that, but I do wonder, and I think I know where the answer goes with this, but I'm still curious of your response of just your comfort level when you do see the bad and the ugly in your conversations with coaches about pointing out the flaws that you might see.
Well, I mean, that's why we get paid. We're coaches, right? It's our job to come up with answers. So we got to make sure that we can give solutions to the answers and making sure that we resolve it. We got a great coaching staff, got great people. I feel like I'm back in with family, and so we all are very familiar with each other. So we'll sit down and figure everything out together.
We'll go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hello, Eric. Good to see you. I have two questions as well.
Yes, sir.
Um, my first is, I'm sure you heard Patrick's comments about wanting new ideas. From your perspective, in the past 3 years, how much do you think those experiences will help you get to maybe presenting new ideas, not only to Patrick, but Andy and the rest of the offensive staff?
I think it's always good because I've had an opportunity to learn a few things and obviously open up my mind just to how to view things from a different point of view, and it's great. But on top of that, we got to make sure that we're getting down to what is best for us when it's all said and done with. So yes, anybody can present an idea. But more importantly, we need to make sure, first and foremost, that we're taking a look at anything that we need to continue to improve it upon or continue working with and making sure that we're getting all the answers first with that and then just figure out what do we need to go from there. But it's day one. We'll figure all that out at some point in time. But I will say this, I'm fired up and excited just to have this opportunity to be in the building and just having these discussions.
And secondly, Eric, have you had a chance to talk to Patrick? Have you had a chance to talk to Travis? And just what is your, I guess, initial reactions of getting back and working with them, obviously for next season?
You know what? I've had just a small minimum conversation with both, and they all have been great. But more than anything, it's just the excitement of just reuniting. It was just like when I came here, we came out here and we played them in the preseason. It was great seeing those guys. because I haven't seen them in years. And so it just feels good just to sit down and have conversations with guys. And to be honest, I have not talked any football or anything. It's just the excitement of just seeing each other, asking how they're doing, and making sure everything is good moving forward. But is the excitement high? Yes. Am I fired up? Yes. Do I respect the hell out of both those guys? Yes. So I'm looking forward to getting back in the grind and chopping wood with them.
We'll hear from Herbie Teope next. Herbie?
Coach, welcome back to Kansas City, man.
How we doing, Herbie? What's
Hey,
happening?
hey, I'm doing well, thanks. I got two questions here. It's sort of a follow-up to what Nate asked you about offering that creative voice to this offense, but
Mhm.
the opportunity to kind of spread your wings over the last few years as an offensive play caller in Washington and UCLA, how do you think that helped develop you to be more of a creative voice on the staff?
You know what? I think it's helped me in a number of ways because when you're doing it on your own, you got to find creative ways to implement a system. On top of that, you learn a lot about yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because all ideas are not bad ideas. We just need to be receptive to them. And so just the dynamic of working with people, learning how to communicate and articulate in your plan and getting them to buy in. I think all that helps. And I think any experience that you've had, whether it's good or bad, it's it's all something that we can learn from. And so with that said, I've learned a lot over the years. I've learned a lot about myself, and I'm just excited, you know, just to get started. And obviously today is day one, but I want to make sure day two, three, four, and five that we hit the ground running, with all this excitement and all this energy that's being created.
You mentioned hitting the ground running, and this is my last question. Obviously, given your background coaching running backs, how involved do you see yourself as the offensive coordinator with energizing this run game?
Let me just say this. First and foremost, we obviously have a tremendous staff. And obviously, with Coach Reed, we're going to figure out what things that we need to do moving forward as far as making sure we're getting the right people in the building. But when it's all said and done, we're going to make sure that we can do the things that we do best. We have one of the better old lineman coaches here in the industry, and Coach Heck. He does an outstanding job with those guys up front, and then just having an impact and just making sure that we're doing the things that we can do that's going to help us moving forward. So, yes, have I been exposed to a number of run schemes? Yes. All right. At the end of the day, we got to make sure that we're doing what is best for us moving forward. And I think that's just the general overall plan.
We'll go next to Nick Jacobs. Nick?
Yeah, and I'll have a follow-up, please. Eric, for you, whether it was Deshaun, Ron Rivera, Ben Johnson, or other coaches on staff, how did they help make you a better teacher to the players?
I think more than anything, just sitting down and having that discussion with them, because when you're working with people who's not familiar with what you do, it's basically you're selling your idea and your thoughts. Okay. You're selling that game plan to those coaches, getting them to buy in. And those are things that are not tough, but what it does, it gives you an opportunity to articulate your plan clear and just basically defining it and painting a picture for them so they can see it and see it how it comes to fruition and everything. And so that's one thing that I would say that has helped me moving forward. But more than anything, just the ability just to sit down and communicate with players as well, because every person, every player is different. Okay. It's all about still establishing the right relationships and getting to know the people that you're working with. If anything, I think over the years, you still want to spend that amount of time, but I think that's something that I can do even a much better job of, is just getting to know the people. And on top of that, making sure that I'm establishing myself within the culture as well, and just not blending in, but also making sure that I can be the right fit and implementing the things that I want to implement as well.
And then speaking of culture, you got to go to three different ones that were different than what you got to experience for over a decade in Kansas City. How did that kind of help you maybe appreciate some things here, but also be like, hey, if I get a chance in the future, I want to implement this?
Just what you said, I think it's exactly that. Because of the success, you always have a tendency of wanting to do it the way that you know it to be done. But on top of that, there's different ways to game plan everything. And I think more than anything, I just gained a diverse deal of wealth over the years from three good men who were head coaches that have an approach that, you know what, it's not bad. These are great ideas that I think that moving forward that, at some point in time can implement, as we move forward. I'm sorry. But it was a unique experience, a very unique experience. But on top of that, a very educating one as well.
We have time for just a couple more. We'll go next to Vahe Gregorian. Vahe?
Hey, Eric, welcome back.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, good. A couple things related to what you've been speaking about. When you say that about learning about yourself, I realize it's hard to sum this all up, but what do you feel like these last couple of years have made you learn about yourself? And then, Kelsey, I'll just have one quick follow-up.
More than anything, you develop patience. Uh, you develop a broad view on things. It forces you to go back and maybe look at things a little bit different, all right, and how you approach everything. Because just because it worked here doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work somewhere else. And so you just want to make sure that you're fitting in, all right, within the environment that you're working with. And one thing, anybody can call plays, but you got to make sure that you are doing what is best for those players, all right, in that particular time, because the talent level may not equate to what you may have worked with in the past. But this talent level can do some things that are different. And that's one thing that you learn. And it's a valuable lesson because it's something that will help you, but it's humbling as well. But, it's very educating. And let me just say this. I lost my train of thought there. Excuse me. I got a lot of stuff on my mind. But I'm fired up about the opportunity of being here. But I'm sorry, my phone was buzzing. I apologize.
Not at all. Just the last part is simply, it's probably hard to describe this, but how much do you feel like you're the same person who left here versus how much you might feel like you're a bit different now?
Well, I'll say this. There's some things about me that have changed, but more than anything, EB is EB. We will still be disciplined in detail and everything and how we handle our business. There's a standard of performance. There's a standard of excellence that'll be expected. But on top of that, there's been a great deal of wealth that I've learned, through the good and through the bad. And the thing that I appreciate is just helped me to grow into this role and have this opportunity to be in this situation again. And thank you.
We'll go quickly to Matt Derrick. Matt?
Hey, Coach, it's good to see you again. Welcome
How
back
you
to
doing,
Kansas
Matt?
City.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
doing well. Hope you are as well. Uh, when you look back at your 5 years as offensive coordinator here, what stands out to you? What are the memories, and what do you feel like were the hallmarks of those 5 years of really sustained success that you had?
You know what? I think obviously there's a number of things that you can look back upon. Um, I mean, hell, you can look back at the first Super Bowl. Everybody always asks me the question, well, what was that deal about the Wasp play? What took place when we were mic'd up? People always ask me that question, and everybody wants to know, what type of guy Pat Mahomes is, or what makes Travis Kelce ticks. But here's the beauty of it. I think more than anything, it's just watching these guys grow over the years and just watching them become the men that they have become and watching their success from afar. That's what I'm proud of more than anything. Not the things that we've accomplished throughout that time, but the things that they have accomplished since then. Watching them grow as men, watching them become a family man. And I think more than anything, that's important because the relationships that you build, they'll outlast anything. And these young men, I'm just very proud of, and I'm just proud that I've had an opportunity to work with them.
We'll go to our final question here with Pete Sweeney. Pete?
Hey, Erica, congratulations. You mentioned that Big Red calls, when Big Red calls, you pick up. I just was wondering if you could describe how this came about from your perspective. I know that you finished very recently with Chicago, but just how it all happened.
Well, be quite honest, it just happened. You know, we were playing in the playoffs, and unfortunately, we came up short. The next day, I get a phone call. Big Red is calling, and obviously, there was some tough conversations having with the head coach and with our players. But it was great having that opportunity.
Eric Bieniemy, the offensive mastermind whose fiery passion once propelled the Chiefs to Super Bowl triumphs, stepped back into the spotlight at his introductory press conference. And what he said next sent ripples through the NFL world and beyond. With a grin that spoke volumes of old camaraderie, Bieniemy casually referred to pop icon Taylor Swift as Miss Kelce, a cheeky nod to her impending nuptials with tight end Travis Kelce. It was a moment that blended the glitz of Hollywood romance with the grit of gridiron dreams, leaving fans buzzing and speculating about what comes next for one of football's most charismatic stars. Bieniemy's return comes at a pivotal time for the Chiefs, who endured a turbulent 2025 season marred by injuries and offensive struggles. Patrick Mahomes' knee injury sidelined him for the latter half, forcing the team to rely on backups and makeshift plays that fell short of their dynastic standards. The offense, once a symphony of precision and power, ranked middling in key metrics, prompting head coach Andy Reid to bring back his trusted lieutenant. Bieniemy, fresh from stints elsewhere that honed his skills but never quite captured the magic of Kansas City, expressed unbridled enthusiasm about reuniting with the squad. "I've had some great chats with Pat and Trav," he shared, his voice carrying the weight of shared victories. "It's all about that excitement of coming together again, chopping wood, and getting back to what we do best." But it was his offhand comment about Swift that stole the show, humanizing the high-stakes world of professional sports. As reporters pressed him on Kelce's future amid retirement rumors, Bieniemy leaned into the microphone with a knowing smile. "Look, Travis is family, and so is Miss Kelce now," he quipped, drawing laughter from the room. The slip, or was it intentional? Highlighted the tight-knit bond between coach and player, while subtly underscoring how Kelce's personal life intertwines with his professional one. Swift, the global superstar, whose Eras tour shattered records, and whose songs often weave tales of love and heartbreak, has been a fixture at Chiefs games since their relationship went public. Their engagement, announced last fall, has turned Arrowhead Stadium into a crossover spectacle where touchdown celebrations meet chart-topping anthems. Bieniemy's playful moniker suggests an insider's view that Swift isn't just a supportive partner, but an integral part of Kelce's world, one that might anchor him to the field rather than pull him away. Delving deeper, Bieniemy revealed insights that fuel optimism for Kelce's return. At 36, the 11-time Pro Bowler has contemplated hanging up his cleats, especially after a season where his stats dipped, though still impressive with over 900 receiving yards. Health concerns, the toll of a decade-plus career, and the allure of life beyond football, including his burgeoning media empire with the New Heights podcast alongside brother Jason, have all loomed large. Yet, Bieniemy painted a picture of unfinished business. "Travis and I talked about those growing moments we had together," he elaborated. "He's at his best when challenged, and with Pat healing up, we've got a chance to rewrite the script. The fire's still there, I see it in his eyes." This sentiment echoes from the top down. Chiefs EEO Clark Hunt has openly expressed his desire for Kelce to suit up for at least one more year, emphasizing the veteran's leadership in a locker room hungry for redemption. Insiders whisper that Bieniemy's hiring was strategic, a jolt to rekindle the offensive fireworks that defined the Mahomes-Kelce era. Under Bieniemy's guidance during his previous tenure, Kelce thrived, amassing yards after catch like no other, his route running a blend of ballet and brute force. The coordinator's detailed, disciplined approach meshed perfectly with Kelce's improvisational flair, creating plays that left defenses scrambling. Now, with Mahomes on the mend and young talents like Rashee Rice emerging, the pieces align for a potential resurgence. Kelce himself has dropped hints on his podcast, gushing about Bieniemy's return. "I can't wait to see him back in the building, man," he enthused, his words laced with genuine affection. "He's one of my favorite people, helped me grow as a player and a person. Such praise isn't mere lip service. It's a testament to the bond that could tip the scales against retirement. Imagine the storylines. Kelce chasing another ring. Swift cheering from the suites in custom Chiefs gear. Their wedding perhaps timed postseason to avoid distractions. The couple's off-season plans include a lavish ceremony, blending Swift's artistic flair with Kelce's Midwestern charm, but sources close to them insist football remains a priority. Travis wants to go out on top, one associate confided, and with that back, that feels achievable. As the NFL offseason unfolds, questions swirl. Will Kelce's loyalty to the Chiefs outweigh the siren call of a quieter life? How will Swift's influence shape his decision encouraging another run or advocating for rest? Bieniemy's comments add intrigue, suggesting a reunion that's more than professional. It's personal, rooted in shared triumphs and the promise of more. The Chiefs' faithful hold their breath, envisioning a 2026 campaign where old magic reignites, propelling the team back to contention. In a league where legends are made and broken in moments, Kelce's choice could define an era. One thing's certain, with Miss Kelce in his corner and Bieniemy calling the shots. Travis's story is far from over, it's just getting to the best part. As training camp approaches, the anticipation builds, leaving us all wondering what epic chapter comes next in this captivating saga of love, loyalty, and the relentless pursuit of gridiron glory.